All right, how we doing, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Yellow for Less TV. Now we're just talking, okay? Today is just we just chatting around. You know what I'm saying? If you have any comments, make sure you comment below this. If I say anything that you think is wrong or right, you agree with or disagree with, comment. But first, let's just try to set this off real fast. Uh, is one thing I've been noticing that's in my generation a lot and around the world today is so many people love to say that they're standing for something or about something and know nothing about it. And if you want to give you an example, look at Black Lives Matter. People don't know how it started. They don't know why it started. They believe they do just because of the title. They don't know nothing about it. So you stand and fight for something you know nothing about. We could do the same thing with the police department in America. People love it. They support it. But do you really know the policies that, saying are implemented behind it? The craziest thing is for you to say that you believe something. Let's just talk on a relationship with God or religious angle on this first. If I told you I believed in God and I read the Bible, I told you I believe everything in the Bible, I told you I believe in Jesus and all that, okay, which I do. But let's get technical. If I told you that and you start asking me questions about the Bible, which normally happens, you know what I'm saying? This normally happens a lot. So you start asking a bunch of questions about the Bible, and I can't answer simple questions. I can't answer simple questions. Okay. I can't give you references. I can't quote the word. I can't even paraphrase the word correctly. Okay. So when you have someone like that, that shows you that they are bandwagon mindset people. So what they do is they jump on and attach to something, but they want to put no work into it. They rather listen to someone else talk about it just so they can be a part of it. They have a congregational mindset. Make sense? Okay. So you, as a believer, saying you believe in God or read the Bible, there is no possible way that you can't talk about the Bible. What it does, it shows me you don't read. It shows me you're most likely to walk away from the word because you have nothing to stand on. There's no foundation. It also makes me believe that at any given time, you can be easily persuaded by someone else into believing that this is right. And let's give you another analogy to break this even down further. Let's talk from a economical angle. So you have a job, you have a career. Let's just say you're a carpenter. Okay. For you to be in carpentry, you should know a lot about it before you start building somebody's house. Okay. Let's just say you don't know enough. So then someone comes up and tells you, nah, man, those measurements are wrong. You need to do this. Or no, we need to put this LVL beam on this angle and not this way. You as the carpenter, you should know that. You as a framer, you should know that. The fact you have to second guess and get someone else's opinion, and then you don't even rely on your own instinct and what you learned, it shows the fact you didn't learn anything. You were just there to get a reward or to feel accepted in a certain field. You're there for the perks. You're not there for the journey. Understand that. So if you can easily be convinced like that, you're not ever going to build a perfect house. You're not ever going to be a good carpenter. You'll never know the right measurements. You'll be breaking wood and splitting wood all day into little pieces of timber for no reason. You might as well make toothpicks. Let's do it a different one because I'm going to hit a lot of aspects of this. Let's just say you are a person who doesn't do religion. You're spiritual. Okay. You like to do chakras, energies, crystals, tarot cards. I'm not saying it's all in one, but you know what I'm saying? You know what the gist I'm coming from. So let's just say you start doing this and you have no clue what the hell you're doing. You don't know what kind of energy you're bringing down. You don't know nothing about it. Then you start wondering why nothing's working. And when people come around, you always want to give them answers that are open-ended and closed. You never can explain exactly what's going on. Only thing you can do is talk about ancestral history. And I want to jump on that later on too. So you want to talk about ancestral history and chakras and energies, but if you don't know what you're doing, are you really going to get the positive reward that you're looking for? No. Which a lot of you don't. Or let's just say someone else who doesn't know anything about crystals and chakras energies come up to you and they start asking you questions about what you do because they're probably interested. You can't even answer that question. So now they're looking at you like you're an idiot. So now everyone who I talk to who does crystals, in my mind, they're all idiots. They're all idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. And the ones who do just talk in circles. That's actually my real opinion. I'm just putting this out there. Let's just talk about Muslims. I love them to death. You can't say and read the Quran and practice your prayer and do your salat and, you know what I'm saying, basically speak when you pray the proper way without reading the Quran. You can't defend Allah and your faith without reading the Quran. So if I run into a Muslim who has no knowledge, does not know what he's talking about, and I start talking to him about Allah, he's giving me all this information. In my mind, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't want this. I'm walk away. Now you just lost somebody. Now you made everyone else around you look like foolish people, just like you. Okay. So the moral of the story is, why would I put 100% effort and I brag and step and act and walk and dress in this certain kind of way and lifestyle when I know nothing of it? I don't know anything about it because other people know more about it than I do. Isn't that crazy? And don't forget, it'll always be your oppressor or your opposition that knows more about it than you do. Understand that, because they're doing their research. So the only reason why they have that advantage over you is because they actually took the time to research what it is. You just jumped aboard of it and you think you know everything because you hear other people talking about it, which is one problem that happens in our church a lot. If you go to church, I want you to pay attention to how many people open their Bible without being told, by the way, open their Bible and follow along with what he's saying. Find that. Find the churches that, I'm not saying they're not out there either. So anyone watches, I'm not here to bash no church. I can't stand people that say they don't go to church, but you'll go to a synagogue, you'll go to a concert, you'll go to anything else like that. But when it comes to church, it's a problem. But everything else asks you for the same thing church asks you for: time and money and paying attention. That's all. You guys just get mad at the church because it comes from a religion, from a practical belief that we don't do that. Okay, we don't ask you for a reward to find God. The only reason why you get mad about that is because the Christian church should not be doing that. True, they shouldn't. But here's the thing: you can't have a church without the state. Church is ran by the government. Does not mean the church is the government. Some churches are unaware of that. Okay, the state runs everything. That's just the governmental society we have. You can't blame God. Don't blame the church. Don't blame the pastor. Blame the government. So if you're mad, focus that energy over there and try to fix it. Understand? If you can't fix it, do me a favor and shut the hell up. Now, the problem is we have too many preachers out here. I want to find a church that has a preacher reading the word. I'm talking about actually keeping that word open the whole time. I'm not going to lie. Because I'll be real, it's not really a big thing for me because I really don't attend church as much as I used to, and that's a problem. Okay. But I'll explain that in a second too. But I don't like it when I go to church and I see the pastor, you know what I'm saying, really gravitating away from the Bible, or he does even better. He closes the Bible and just keeps it close. He reads that one verse and the rest of it is just no. Everything needs to be root-based by the word. That's anything you do. So if you're into chakras energy, it needs to be root-based on what you know and what your ancestors have told you about what's going on, not what your opinion is. Okay? Because I'll be real. And it's unpopular opinion. There's no opinions in faith. Just like there's no feelings in faith, there's no opinions in faith either. Because your opinion is how you feel about the topic. And what I feel, let's just say this: I feel as though taxes are wrong. In reality, taxes get a lot of things done, such as the reason why we have movie theaters and why our county is now thriving and start new businesses and open up new housing and the rest. Okay, that comes with taxes. It makes the city money. Okay, I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. Faith is the same way. Only difference with faith is less evidence. But here's the thing: I refuse to put okay. I refuse to put my faith into something, knowing dang well the truth behind it. I'm not gonna put my faith into hip hop because I know something about hip hop is shady. All right. So I put my faith in this area. For me to just sit there and let that faith just be its faith is foolish. Because faith without works is dead. That's basically what I'm trying to get to. Faith without works is dead. So if you're not really working on your faith, learning, educating yourself, you know what I'm saying, building up what you're talking about, it's dead, bro. So I mean, you think that the minute you find the word, or the minute you go to church, or the minute you hear new information, new knowledge, it's just canon. It's just, and I'm a nerd, y'all. So when we say canon, that just means it's legitimate. It's legitimized. It's stamped. Okay. You can't do that, bro. That's not how things work. Now let's just jump back to another topic I said I'm gonna jump on, which is let's see if I can remember this. All right. One thing I did say. Give me a second. One thing I did say was about the church. And I want to touch back on base with this because I personally believe, yes, you should go to church. The reason why I don't. And this has been a really big question with a lot of traditional people in church. And I know I'm jumping off topic here, but hear me out. A question that's been going on in a lot of churches lately is, why are we losing members in the church? Why don't the youth want to come to church? I'm 28 years old. Why people don't want to go to church my age? So from 33 and down, why don't we go to church? Let's just put this in the best perspective possible for me. And I was raised in the church, y'all. So my mom got saved when I was like 5. You know what I'm saying? So she took us to church. So I'm trying to be as simplistic when I say this, because I know it's the answer y'all want. I'm not a creature of routine. And I don't mean that in a negative way, like going to work every day. Okay, that's routine. Me personally, I'm not a creature of routine. I hate traditional. Hear me out on this. When I say, all right, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. We as a generation are not routine. We are not built in a line with the structure that your generation has. And I'm talking to 70 babies, 60 babies, 80 babies in the church. Understand, this is the reason why a lot of people aren't showing up no more. Why is it? No, I'm gonna take this back. When I go to a church and I see that everyone in there is dressed up in a suit and tie and Sunday's best for no reason, just to serve God, one thing it makes me automatically think is the same thing as Hollywood. It's just for show. Because God don't care what you wear. His clothes look better than yours. That's 100% cotton, sir. He has diamonds on his chest. Chill out. Angels are dressed better than you. You think he cares that your suit is $300? You think he cares that Miss Patty today wore an all green dress? Nobody tripping. No one cares about that except the people there. So when I see that, I'm automatically assuming everybody here is dressed to impress. So it makes you think the next thing out your mouth is already to impress. You just want to get that. You want to get that. Hey man, holla, preach. You just want to hear that. That's why you'll never get that reaction from me. That's why I'm halfway listening when I get there anyway. That's why you put me to sleep. Because anything real, I'll start, the truth might bore somebody. The truth will cut, but it never bores them. I'll take that back. I apologize. The truth will cut and hurt and convict. It'll never bore nobody because it already got them engaged in thinking. They're already thinking of them. They might not show it, and they might be disrespectful with how they accept it, but it never bores them. Bullshit, excuse my language, bullshit bores people. I didn't come to church to hear how your day was and how your success and what God's done and what he has blessed you. No. It's good. Yes, I love testimonies, but I didn't come for you. I didn't come to add numbers to your congregation. I didn't. I came for a safe haven, which is nowadays, let's be real, a safe haven, a place where all of us are united in one thing, that we all believe in Jesus, which is one thing that gets us ridiculed and oppressed in this day and age. So for you as a pastor, for you as a church, for you as a bishop, deacon, whatever you want to call yourself, for you as the head of that church, for you to have dress codes, for you to have codes on who can walk in and everything's structured and images matter and stuff, it's so cliche that it's boring. It's so cliche, it's sad. It's a desperate cry for help. You're the equivalent of girls on OnlyFans and the equivalent of these young rappers. You know how? Because you all do it for fame. Or money too. I apologize. Money too. Yeah. Some of y'all love that money. But that's what you do it for. You know what I'm saying? I hope I hurt you. I hope I hurt you. I hope I really stepped on some toes. and I'm not done. It's so annoying to see people in the church operate like that. For real. And I'm not talking about tithes and offerings. See, the problem is people in church always want to look inward. Like, well, how can we bring people in? How can we tell them to come in to our church? Why do we need, how can we get more members? How can we reach out to more people? What the fuck? Excuse my language, y'all. I apologize. I'm saved, but I'm a sailor at the same time. I apologize, y'all. I just don't get stuff like this. It bothers me to the point where it gets under my skin. Jesus never stayed within four walls. And if you can find that in the Bible, please find it to me, comment it, and please come check me. Bishops, deacons, I'll talk to bishops and deacons alike. Don't let the young age fool you, because I know. I don't know everything, but I know enough to converse with you, to tell you enough that you're wrong. Not all of you. I don't want people watching to assume that everyone in every church and every pastor and every member of church organization is crooked and fraud, because they're not. You know that. You just try to, you try to hide from the accountability angle of you going to church being right with God. That's on you. So stop blaming the church for your problems. Now back to the church. I can't stand seeing people be misled. I can't stand the church believing that they need to bring people into a building, into four walls. For what? Who are you hiding from? Who are you hiding from? You put yourself in this prison, in this. Oh, it could be sometimes y'all go to church 2 days a week. I don't know. Maybe some churches go 3 days a week. You never know. Let's just say once a week. So you put yourself in this prison once a week, and after that, it's nothing. It's the church nowadays. I'll give you another analogy. The church nowadays is the equivalent of black. What is it? I'm sorry. I only celebrate. That's why I don't know it. It's this month, Black History Month. I apologize. And it's the equivalent of Black History Month because Black people only care about other Black people's success and only care about what happens to Black people and only want to act and fake united on Black History Month in the month of February, the shortest month of the year. Christians want to act like we're all united, like we're all lovey-dovey, like we're all best friends, like we all just worship God and doing the right thing every day of the week, and we're all in our Bible and we all just here for love once a week. Why? And then here's the biggest thing. You do that, then you got the audacity to come tell people my age why don't want to go to your church. And I'm only targeting the churches who are actually in the wrong. So if you feel some type of way, it's probably conviction. You might want to look into your church. If you don't, avoid these problems. Keep these kind of people away from you. Okay? It's getting annoying. This is the reason why we don't want to go to church, because one thing about my generation is everyone wants to look at the kids you see, the rappers you see, the models you see, how they act. Okay, cool, yeah. My generation is a lot more explicit. You're going to come off a lot more different to get through to us, for real. Because one thing we love is truth. One thing we love doing this generation, we will expose anything we can. Look at the government. Look at history. Look at science. We have literally changed all three of those. Look at math. Our generation has brought a whole new equations into math. We want to find new ways that we can get to the truth. We want to know. Now, granted, a lot of people in my generation don't understand that the truth they're looking for is only going to be found in Christ Jesus, or only going to be found in the Word. And I admit that. I'm not too gangster for God. I promise you I'm not. However, the messengers that God has on here for us, nah, man. Nah. I don't know who told y'all you guys have autonomous opinions, like what you think is right. Because now I'm starting to be scared that some of y'all aren't even hearing from God. Because now it brings you back to the very first thing I ever said. As a pastor, as a leader, minister, where everyone calls them evangelist, apostle. I love these titles that y'all love, like you just want. I never seen people who want titles so bad. You're worse than you're just like the OnlyFans girls. Anyway, yeah. Are you researching? Are you reading? You see, I love this because I used to observe a lot of Christians and leaders. I've been around a lot of leadership in the church. I mean, I really have been around a lot of leadership. Just being around listening to them. I used to get in trouble in church. I had to sit next to them. They used to always come over and check on me. My mom ended up being a minister later on in my life and everything else. So I love watching them because one thing watching tells me a lot about who you are. Are you the type of Christian who just rides around Jesus music all day? Or turns on Tom Joyner or some other Christian radio and you just listen to them talk all day? Because if that's the case, don't be a leader. Because you're just as bad as people who get on Facebook, watch and look what's going on, and then go speak on it. See what I mean? You're just as bad as paparazzi, who just get in the lives of someone else's life, like lives of Kanye West and everybody else. Don't know the details, but you're just gonna go take pictures, assume, and then print it. And then we as a congregation out here reading it and believing everything you're saying because we believe that you're in tune with God because that's your job. Yeah. Your job ain't to lead the church. We're going to follow you regardless. Okay? That's what you have your whole board for. Let them do that. Your job, stay in tune with God. Your job, keep reading God's word because we don't listen to you. We listen to God. We just see you as someone who God appointed over us. Because honestly, I can go talk to God. We're not Catholic. I can go talk to God myself. He might tell me, hey, man, the pastor doing such and such and such. We need to get up. Okay. So as a pastor, if you know this is wow, this right here. As a pastor or a leader, I'm not going to attack pastors. And by the way, this is not attacking no man or women of God. This is not attacking either one. So if you take it as an attack, please understand it's conviction. Because I believe in Jesus. He's my savior of my life and everything. And I do believe we should go to church. But I'm giving the real reason of why you guys want to know people aren't going to church. You want to know it? Then listen. Be able to swallow. It's bitter. It's bitter, I know. Hear me out. As a pastor, a leader, whatever have be, understand that the people you're trying to attract to your church can see through that. We can see through that. And I'm going to give you another example. Understand this. You know how if you meet someone who has nothing to do with God, discernment, if you're really covered in the blood of Jesus, because discernment will cover you and come over you and be able to tell you, hey, this ain't that, bro. See what I mean? Same way in the streets. In the streets, a killer know a killer. A drug dealer know a drug dealer. A robber know a robber. And a crackhead knows another crackhead. So I'm trying to follow me with this. So you mean to tell me, you leaders of the church who's trying to get people in, you believe that these people who are all the things I just named coming into your church can't see that in you? Oh, he a scammer. Oh, he a finesser. Oh, he a liar. I know that because I'm a liar. Yeah. Come on now. Y'all crave these people coming to your church until you get these people coming to your church. And I know I rag on the girls on OnlyFans, but the reason why I talk about OnlyFans, social media, rappers, and the reason why I use some analogies because a lot of people in the church like to pinpoint those people and criticize them. You like to pinpoint and be like, these people are wrong. Now let's point them finger right back at the church. All right. Like the church says, how we bring them in. Let's look inward. Right. Okay. Let's stay behind these four walls. Stop putting your opinion outside them four walls if you're not getting out them four walls and doing what you need to do. Okay. And I'm still waiting for y'all to comment if Jesus ever stayed within the church, because I never seen Jesus stay within four walls. So my thing is this: if you are attracting these people to your church, you don't think they can see that liar in you? They can see that the promiscuity in you. They can see the finesse, the scamming, the snakeness, the violence. Yeah. See, a lot of you guys think you have a lot of age and God bless you with discernment. You're blessed that you think that you're infallible now. When I say infallible, I mean not perfect, but you think that people around you aren't on your level. That's why a lot of pastors like to sit with people who are less than them because it elevates them. I don't like that. I like to be around people who are way better than I am because it elevates me. It forces me to learn more. It forces me to do better. So my opinion is, for congregational wise, people who are watching this who are not in leadership, you need to start holding leadership accountable. Because without you, they are nothing. They're telling you that. They're showing you that. Because when a pastor loses congregation members, it hurts them. It hurts. I understand. And probably on the objection side, I understand that. But on the other side, I don't. Because it makes me feel like it's a popularity contest. Why should your members bother? where two or more are gathered. Bro, we can do this with me and you. We can do this with three of us. All we got to do is come together, pray, and read. We got simple Bible studies. That could be church. When did church become so theatrical where every Sunday morning I had to wake up, dress up, and look the best one in that church, look good for these people, go in that church, sit down for hours, sweating or listening, praising, clapping, talking, then go home and take that same outfit off. And you're like, it's such a routine. Is there even love in it? Is there even any love in it? So I'm gonna hit you with this before I shut up. This is the last analogy I'm gonna give you. So I remember talking to a Muslim, and he kept asking me, man, why do you? Because they really saw a lot in me. They wanted me to become a Muslim. So they could ask me, saying, why do you have this passion and this love for Jesus, bro? We don't get it. And I really took time to think about that. And I'm being convinced. I remember reading Elijah versus the 450 prophets of Baal, and I was the only one standing versus all these Muslims. Then I finally thought about it after watching it. I thought about this. These people, and this is no disrespect towards Muslims. Before I say this, please understand, the Muslims, they have so much reverence that they dedicate time daily, mandatorily, to pray. And if they're on their deen, they don't miss. I can respect and honor that. And I wish that I was in the Christian community as well. And I don't like saying Christian community. That sounded so weird. It sounded so equal rights. Anyway, so let's get back to the story. So I remember watching them. And one thing I noticed was they pray 5 times a day. Okay. Every day. I'm not sure if that's, I could be wrong. If you're Muslim, please correct me. I'd like to learn more. So, you know what I'm saying? They pray every day, 5 times a day. Now, I equated that with something different. God is love. Love is spontaneous. God is mysterious because no one knows the ways of God. Okay? So when he blesses you, you don't expect it, which is spontaneous love. Remember this for later. So watching the Muslims when I did this, okay, they show love every day. And then I felt like God was showing me this, but how I received it was, imagine a man and a woman getting married, okay? And the man tells that woman, every single day for the rest of your life, I'm going to bring you 5 flowers a day. And every single time I get a flower, I'm going to tell you I love you. A woman's going to be like, oh my God, that's the best thing in the world. It's okay, cool. She's going to love to death. It's women. So it's going to be the sweetest thing in the world for her. She's going to love to death. Eventually, let's say 3 years down the road, he's still doing it. I'll take it back. Let's go 2 years down the road. He's still doing it. She's not going to be as happy as she was in the first couple months. Now let's say why. We all know why. Because it's become routine. It's become normal. It's become a force of habit. That's a good and bad thing. Because now in her mind, she's thinking, okay, is it really love now? Or is it just him saying he's going to do it? Is he putting love behind it now? Or is it just routine for him? Is it just a mission to get over? Of course, he still loves because he still is consistently doing it. But is it really coming from his heart? Cain and Abel sacrifices. So let's just get this out here. When I prayed as a believer in Jesus, when I pray, it's spontaneous love. I'm giving God spontaneous love. I haven't spoke to God in 5 minutes. We just, hey God, I'm thinking about you. I love you. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, for what you've done for me, what you to do. So that's spontaneous. It's just random. Just like my blessings, just like his love, random. Without anything coming with it, no strings attached. Just, But when I do that as a routine, even in the back of my mind, after a while, I'm not taking it seriously. There's no love coming from it. And that's how I took and perceived it. Okay, I could be wrong, but that's how I perceived it. There's no routine. I say that because it's the same way with church. There's no spontaneous love. If I had to get dressed up every Sunday at a certain time, be there, take care of these duties in the church, sit down and finally listen to you speak just to get up and go home and repeat my same life over again. The next Sunday come around, I do the same exact process again. Are you going to church out of love for God? Or is this routine in a popularity contest? hopefully you watching this, and I know I'm blunt and brutal and honest, but I'll try to tighten up my language next time. But we all grown. I'm not here to pity party and fake with you. I'm not here to play who's the bigger Christian. I'm not no Bible thumper like that. I do believe, and I'm gonna speak my mind, but I don't thump on the Bible because I feel like that's what people do for attention. So my my 3 key points I really want to put there, probably not even 3. There's key points I want to put out there. Um, when you see Christians out here judging people on OnlyFans and rappers and celebrities in the community, please understand this. What are they doing that's different? For you can see the speck of my eye, but I'm looking at the log in yours, bro. What are you doing that's different? Because you're doing the same thing for fame in the church that they doing it for fame in the streets. You just want a title so bad. Why? I mean, here my thing is, I don't even want the responsibility for all that. Be real, because in Ezekiel it says that whoever the watchman is, the centurion he put over the watch, they're getting judged twice as more, especially if they don't tell you what God told them to tell you. So that's on you, bro. But this is why we don't put our second point was this is why we don't speak out against men and women of God, though. So if everybody watching this on the abstract mindset who don't really believe in God and judge a church, please understand this. The reason why we don't speak out against men and women of God is because, come on now, we don't really know what's going on. We don't really know their walk of faith with God. You watching this right now, don't you know how advanced I am in my faith with God? Me talking to you, I don't know how advanced you are. So the whole thing is treating everybody equal because no faith is greater than the other. We're all equal in faith. If you don't like communism, you're going to love this faith. You're going to hate this faith, I promise you, because no one's greater. If you're a pastor, preacher, or person in leadership or position of power, whether you're on TV, radio, whatever have be, please understand this. Your faith is not greater than anyone else's. Because while you got high on the horse and stay there at the top, because one thing about the top, I love this. You know, rappers be like at the top and stuff. We're the head at the top and the ceiling of it. It's the thing. It's a ceiling, bro. It comes with a limit. Because after a while, you're going to get stagnant. And your pride's going to sink in. You're going to realize, I can do this. And you're going to forget to read. You're going to forget to talk to God. You're going to consult yourself before you consult what God is saying to you through the word, which is the problem. And I'm not coming at leadership because I'm not a leader. I'm not one. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not a leader in the church, I would say. I'm not I'm not a pulpit pastor. But I do want to encourage people to definitely understand. The last point I want to say is definitely understand and read what you're doing. Do your research. There's no way that you can sit behind a phone screen, a TV screen, or sit in a congregation in the pews or listen to gospel music all day and not read the word. I don't know when y'all thought that gospel music was going to elevate you into getting closer with God. It does get your spirit in the right presence. I will say that. The music that gets the right atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? But it's not, if you're not reading, and I'm preaching to myself too. But what are you doing? Let's just say God came back right now. Who going? Because I'll be real, I'm scared. So the only person I'm really not scared of is Lisa McKinney, Cynthia J. Conley, those people, Kenya Proctor, Fallon Proctor. See, it's probably 11 people I can name that I know for a fact are just up there. Like if the rapture happened and I don't see them, I'm scared. I'm scared. If the rapture happened, I think it did. I call them up and their phone just rings. Boy, I know I'm going to church immediately. But really ask yourself, I know I'm joking, but really ask yourself, what are you going to do? Are you sure you set straight? You know enough? Because if I ever had this show and I want to jump people to jump on here and talk to me, and we can talk about religion or anything else, and I start hitting you with angles that you never knew about, how are you going to defend your faith? How? I told you I'm a nerd. So in second grade, I was reading Harry Potter. I loved Harry Potter. Okay. And one thing about Harry Potter was they always had a defense of the dark arts class. But the curse of the class was every single teacher that jumped on there always died. It's a cursed position in the class. But then I thought about it. You know how important that class is for them kids? Defense against the dark arts. Them kids grew up in a generation that Voldemort was coming back to kill everybody. He had millions of minions coming around terrorizing people. So as a wizard, you would want to know how to defend yourself against them. Every single teacher that they had died. You hit home, right? So when we have a Bible with us and we have God as our teacher, teaching us to defend ourselves against the dark arts of these worlds, of this world, how is it that we just don't go to class? Because this is one class where the teacher ain't dying. He ain't going nowhere no time soon. I promise you that. I promise you that. Bet my life on it. But we just don't show up to class. So you're not reading your word. How can he teach you new things? So when you have people come to your church, questioning your church and questioning what you're saying, or you have people coming to you on the street questioning your faith, questioning your relationship with God, questioning the Bible and the word we're supposed to be defending, how can you defend it? How can you know what to say? What are you going to say? Oh, I just can't deal with you. God got you. Oh, you're ignorant. You're ignorant of faith. You're making all us look ignorant. Okay. That's what you know. It's really making you look very ignorant. So leaders watching this, please educate your people. Stop talking at them. Educate them. For real. You're a pastor. You're a leader. Yeah, but what are you teaching them, bro? You're going to keep following you. What are you teaching them? Shout out to Mark Conley. What are you teaching them? You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna end it right there, but don't forget, read your word. That's a whole gist of it. This is the longest I ever did. We really only do 15 minutes a day, but this is Jello for Less TV. We're gonna talk about it. I hope I made sense and not jump too far off topic and back and forth because it's just been on my head. It wasn't a planned podcast. This was just me talking. So, by the way, any comments, comment them. Don't forget to like, share, and please subscribe. It's not that hard. Just click a button. It's simple to you. It means a lot to me, though. Bless.